Hey, Happy New Year, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. 2025 is in the books, and we look forward to 2026. In this video, we're going to review 2025, look forward to 2026, and if you stick around to the end, we'll also let you know the total cost of what it cost us, maybe not you, but what it cost us to RV throughout pretty much the entire East Coast in 2025.
Yeah, we had a couple splurges of 2025, meaning Disney. We had a long stay in December, so that actually inflated the cost of camping a little bit. But for us, it was worth it. We're big Disney fans, so we tend to splurge a little bit. So
Disney will absolutely cost you a lot of money, but it's worth it to us. Maybe not to everybody, to us it's absolutely worth it, and we will be returning in 2026. So again, going throughout this video, we'll be talking about 2026 later in the video, where we're going to go, hopefully be able to see some of you folks on the road. We've met a lot of people in 2025. We've made a lot of friends in 2025, people that will probably be friends for a lifetime. And it's all because of the RV community and this adventure that we started about 2.5 years ago. So I am going to be looking at my phone and my computer as a reference, but we'll go ahead and talk about what we enjoyed and what we did in 2025. One thing I want to start out with, though, is I keep track of everything and plan everything through RV Life, RV Overnights, but mostly RV Life. So I will be looking down my phone periodically just to reference that. But let's start out with January of 2025. So we started out like a lot of you, and we went to the RV show in Tampa. We went because we had never been there. We've been to Hershey a few times, and we have been to Tampa numerous times. But we went down there just to look around, meet some friends, and just have a good time and really get out of the cold weather.
So it was kind of unexpected, but we decided to trade in the unit that we had and purchase a different unit. So we did order that when we were in Tampa in January of 2025. Luckily, they did have what we wanted in stock. So I think we went down the end of February to pick it up and to inspect it and make sure everything was what we wanted.
Yeah, so we spent 3 different trips going to Tampa. The first one to the RV show, one more time to go down and do an inspection. So we have some really good friends that are RV inspectors. They could not make it in the time frame that we needed. So they gave us pointers of what to look at, a worksheet, what to look off of, and the fact that we've already owned another Thor Pasadena, we knew exactly what to look for. So shout out to Laurel and Pierre, Blue Hawks. Met them numerous times throughout the year. They're really good friends of ours. So if you need somebody to do an inspection, get a hold of them. They're the best in the business. That said, we went down and we went through this coach with a fine-tooth comb, highlighted everything we needed fixed, handed that over to the general, and it took him, 2 weeks or so, plus my work schedule, to be able to get back down there. So picked it up in, like Heather said, I think it was the end of February, very end of February into early March.
Yeah, so we flew down and we went and did a second look at it and made sure everything was fixed that we had pointed out. And then we spent a good part of the day there, I think, that day. And then you had work in South Carolina, so we drove to South Carolina and I flew him from there, and you spent the night by yourself in our new coach for the first few nights.
Yeah, probably first week.
Yeah.
Right. So I stayed at Big Rig Friendly RV Park in West Columbia, South Carolina, and it's going to be a nice park at some point. It's a dirt road, dusty road.
It was brand new though.
It was new,
yeah.
And they've got some work to do to get the roads are in nice shape. They're just a lot of dust, but it's going to be a big park. And it is just off of close to 80 or 26 and 77. So if you're ever in that area, you can always check them out. From there, we went to again. I'm going to be looking at RV Life. We went to Lumps Park in Delaware. We went to Delaware Seashore State Park. Now, as we talk about some of these places that we've gone throughout the year, we went to numerous state parks in Delaware, Ohio. We wanted to go in Pennsylvania, but the government shutdown put the kibosh on that. So the reason we do that is really most of the state parks are really nice, very roomy, and pretty inexpensive, right? I mean, some of the state parks in Pennsylvania are a little bit over $25 a night, less than 30. I think when you get into Delaware, it's a little bit more. Ohio, which we'll talk about that coming up, is expensive for a state park, in my opinion, right? So it's run by the Ohio watershed, Muskegon watershed. So it's a little bit more expensive. They're close to between $80 and $100 a night, which is extremely expensive. But you'll see in this video some of the amenities that you get in Ohio that maybe you don't get anyplace else. We also went to State Park in South Carolina. So we try to visit state parks as much as we can when we want to get away. We bought this RV. We spent, to us, a lot of money. Maybe not to everybody. Maybe it's more than some, less than others. But we're going to use it. And so we used it quite a bit. We visited 19 states in 2025. We went from Maine to Florida and all the way west to Indiana. So we've been all over the place. We traveled 13,561 miles, and we are part-timers. We are not full-timers, we're part-timers.
Yeah, we had a busy 2025, and we stayed at state parks, we've stayed at Harvest Host, and we've stayed at, regular resorts.
And throw in there a couple nights we stayed at Cabela's or Bass Pro, basically the same thing, right? So we try to mix it up, but again, we bought this RV to use it as much as we can. Now I say that, and we do travel a lot. So some of these trips that we have taken in 2025 were work trips, but we just chose to take the RV instead of staying another night in a hotel. So that helps as well because we are able to get out, take the dogs with us. But we traveled, like I said, 19 states, 13,500 miles, 92 nights in the RV, and we went all over the place. And outside of Disney, because Disney's a whole separate animal. If you've been there, you know what it's like. It's awesome. We love it. But with Disney comes different experiences, different expenses. But outside of Disney, where was your favorite place that we visited, and what was your favorite campground that we visited?
I liked Seneca, Lake Seneca. That was in Senecaville, Ohio.
And that was Ohio State Park.
Yeah. So I'm more about the view, right? So if we have a campsite with a good view, I'm all about that. So a lot of times when we're looking at going somewhere, we always study the map and pick out a site that might have a good view if possible. And we like the places where you can lock in a site. Ocean City, we stayed at Sun Outdoors in Ocean City. That's probably one of my favorites too, but I like going to Ocean City, so. But
Chincoteague was nice. We went the first time we went to Chincoteague, and we were now it used to be a Sun Outdoors. It's no longer Sun Outdoors. We're not affiliated with them, but it still has a Sun Outdoors feel
and price.
And we were right on the bay. I mean, literally right on the bay. 10 yards from the bay, right across from us was Walt Island, which is where they launched the rockets from. And we have videos in our YouTube collection of all of these places. So when you get a chance, go check them out. If you got any questions at any of these places, reach out and we'll help you out and answer any questions that you have. But I really liked Senecaville or Seneca Lake. Probably it doesn't look like a state park. It's amazing view. It is all concrete level pad. We met some friends there that were camping with us. So I would say that was probably my favorite. Chincoteague was a close second. Now again, we're not including Disney in any of this. Now, this is as far as RV sites, RV parks. Chincoteague, we thought about going back to next year over Memorial Day. Now, they use dynamic pricing. So for Memorial Day, for a 4-day weekend, it was going to be $1,100, and it's a nice place, but it's not worth that kind of money because of some of the amenities they don't have. And with us traveling with dogs, they didn't have a dog run or a dog park. You had to go into town a couple miles. So I would go back, but only for the right price. And Memorial Day weekend prices aren't it. But as far as the view, there in Seneca rank right up pretty close. Ocean City, Sun Outdoors Ocean City, again, right on the bay. That was nice. Where else?
So let's start. I think our first trip of the year was
Lums.
Was it Lums or was it?
Yeah, it was Lums and then Delaware.
Okay.
So I'll just run down through some of these. Lums Park, Delaware Seashore State Park, and we went to Bayshore in Maryland. And then from there we went to South Carolina again to meet some friends, do some working down that area. We stayed at State Park down there. It was Greenwood State Park, and then we stayed local to Gettysburg, just because we wanted to get out and do some things in the RV before we took our long trip, or one of our longer trips of the year. And we went all the way up to Acadia, Booth Bay, and all those areas up in Maine. And then came back and Hickory Hollow, which is out by the 9/11 Memorial in Somerset County. Then we went to Ocean City in the fall. In between there, we did our first rally at our everyday getaway. So shout out to Chris and Katrina. We had a fabulous time, met a lot of friends. First rally, it won't be our last. Then we went to Disney in October, Sun Outdoors in Chincoteague. And then went back to Fort Wilderness and Disney in December.
And that was our long trip. We stayed there for about 3 weeks.
Yep. So that that pretty much tells you everywhere we went. And like I said, we hit 19 states. I would say, again, not counting Disney, Senecaville and or Chincoteague, favorite parts of the RV resorts. As far as favorite places we visited, for me, and I was really surprised at this, every time we go to Florida, we stop in Savannah Lakes. At first I didn't like Savannah Lakes because it was very expensive. Now I found a way to get some discounts and add a few different subscriptions to get us some discounts. So we spent the day in Savannah. I really, really liked the town of Savannah.
Yeah, I think it was nice. We did like a trolley tour that took us around the town, so it was nice. I had never been to Savannah, so it was a new experience for me. So we had a great time there. We spent 2 days there in Savannah Lakes.
So we went to Savannah Lakes a total of 3 times this year, but that time we spent 3 nights, 2 days, 3 nights, and we spent a whole day in downtown Savannah. But yes, that was a good time. And we went to Wilkes House for dinner. If you ever get a chance to go down there, that food was amazing.
So that place is open from 11 to 2. It's only open for a short time, and you stand in line for ever to even get in the door, and then it's served family style. But it was good. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it was worth the wait, but
yeah, to me it was. Good. I thought it was fabulous. So that was the highlights. As far as stops that weren't at an RV park, on the way back just this past week, we stopped at a place called Broad Slab Brewery or Distillery. I'm sorry, Broad Slab Distillery in Benson, North Carolina. It was awesome. They did a nice job. Now, there wasn't a lot there as far as food, and we're not drinkers, but they had a nice shop there. They have a nice bar there.
It was a nice overnight stay. It was really level, and you're right along the road, so it was a little noisy, but actually the noise after midnight, really didn't hear any traffic, so it wasn't bad.
Nothing like the Cabela's or Bass Pro off of 95. Yeah. We stayed there one night, and so least favorite place in 2025, and then we'll jump into some of our expenses in 2026 and where we're headed. Least favorite place.
I would say my least favorite was the state park in South Carolina.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Right.
Greenwood State Park.
Maybe it was the time of year because it was over Memorial Day weekend. It was busy and there was just a lot of people.
We went down there. I do a lot of work in that area. I got friends, co-workers that live down that area. So they camped next to us, which that made it a great time.
I think we had a nice view. We were right on the lake, but I think the worst part was trying to get level.
Yeah. So again, the fact that we were there with friends made it nice, but we are little over 40 feet. And that entire park, even though they say we'll fit a 40-foot rig, we were 15 and a half inches off of level. And with Super C, now even with the Class A, you can't make up that kind of room. For us, we were there. We weren't driving back home, so we used every stack of wood that I had, every stack of wood that Mike had, and we were uncomfortably high in the back, stacked up. Like I said, this high, right? 15 inches. So it was insane, but we got it, and we ended up, we made a good day and a good weekend out of it. But I wouldn't go back if you got a big rig.
Yeah.
So that brings us to 2026, and we'll get to the expenses in 2025 here soon. So 2026, as you all know, if you're watching this and you're an RVer, you've got to plan ahead. So we've got most of 2026 planned already. We are going to be visiting a few more states, nothing like what we did in 2025. So we'll be going to Tennessee, we'll be going to Kentucky. Those will probably be the two new states that we're going to. We will be returning, obviously, to Florida numerous times to go to Disney. We are going to Ohio. We are going to New York. Where else? Obviously, we'll do Pennsylvania. I think we're going to hit West Virginia, even though we pass through it all the time. We haven't stayed there yet. So, and then I think we're going to we'll have a place in North Carolina. So, again, we usually start in April, end of March, beginning of April, and we run all the way up until Christmas or slightly thereafter Christmas. So, it really comes down to workload and work schedule and how much we can move around. When we do travel, we travel at night and we'll travel long distances. I know not everybody will do this, but for us, we have to work, and if we can work remotely, great. If we can't, we just leave when we can and head down there. But doing an 8 or 10 hour day drive is pretty common for us. I don't like it, but it's pretty common for us. So we're going to try to maybe not do that as much next year, or I guess this year, right? It's 2026. Today's the first. So we'll try to reduce the number of hours we drive, but if we have to do that, we will. And we know when we go to Kentucky and we go to Tennessee, we're going to have to do some deadheading to get home. So if you're going to be Pennsylvania, New York, West Virginia, Maryland, Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee, South Carolina, North Carolina, Florida, we'd love to meet up and love to say hi. We'll continue to follow us, subscribe to our channel, continue to follow us. We'll let you know where we're going to be. And then we've also, made so many friends already in the RV community. We've run into them throughout the year in 2025. We know we'll do the same thing in 2026. And we've got a lot of stuff planned. We've got 3 rallies planned. So we got a rally in London, Kentucky. So it's a rally being put on by 4 other channels. Our Everyday Getaway, Why Wait, Untethered, and
Our Next Adventure.
So they're putting on a rally for 5 days, I think it is, in London, Kentucky. So we're going to that. Should be a good time. They sold the entire place out. I think it was 150 spots. And then from there, we're going up to a rally in Margaritaville and Pigeon Forge with the Blue Ox group. Then we're going to deadhead home, spend a week at home, or I'll probably be on the road working. Heather will spend a week at home, and we're going to turn around and go back to Ohio. And we'll be out in, I can't remember the name of the town we're going to be at in Ohio. Let me see if I have it here.
That's a rally also, right?
That's also going to be a rally. Let me see if I got it here. It's with the Confers. So it's a Confers camp out. and it is in Dundee, Ohio. So you can check out all 3 of those. I know the first rally sold out. I don't know about the one with Blue Hawks or one with the Confers, but they all have great channels, so watch them. And then I guess that will be the new thing for 2026. And the other thing with 2026, we started building a parking area for our rig here at home. We got that about halfway done before the weather moved in, so we're going to finish that up, and then we will be back at Disney a few different times. So that's 2026, and I know that was quick, but continue to subscribe and watch, and we'll put out where we're going to be and see some different adventures. But one thing we didn't talk about, going back real quick, 2025, what did you think about Maine and the Northeast?
Maine was nice. The campground, we had a nice view. I don't know if the campground was that great. We stayed at Moorings, and it was right on the water.
People were nice. Small campground.
Yeah.
I think there's 30 spots there, but the people were awesome. The view was awesome.
We were kind of in between Bar Harbor and
Booth
Bay. So each day we traveled, a little distance just to check out the towns and different restaurants. And we went to, was it Cadillac Mountain?
Acadia National Park.
Good time there. We had fun there.
Yeah, I liked Acadia a lot. I didn't care for Bar Harbor. It's a tourist town. It just, to me, if you ever been to any of the boardwalks on the East Coast, Bar Harbor is basically the same thing without the boards. It's just t-shirt shop after t-shirt shop, restaurant, bar after bar, and outrageously expensive. I didn't care for Bar Harbor. I liked Acadia. I liked Moorings where we stayed. I really liked Booth Bay. But I'll say we wanted to see Maine. We wanted to see the Northeast, and we did. I can check that off the list. There's other places I want to see before I go back.
Yeah, we have a lot of places that we want to visit. So even though it was nice, we had a good time, I think there's a lot of other places we want to visit.
Yep. So we want to get out west, but that's got to wait until retirement, simply because when I go out west, I want to go out and not be in a rush. And, it's okay to take a couple weeks, but really for us to go out there and do it the way I want to do it, it's going to take a couple months. So that's going to be a couple years down the road. So let's go ahead and jump into the expenses. Now, again, this isn't going to be for everybody, depending on your rig, depending on how you like to decorate, where you like to stay. There's going to be so many different variables, but I'm going to tell you what it cost us. So we have a 2025 Thor Pasadena. It's what they call a Super C. If you watch the channel, you know what it looks like. It has a diesel engine in it. It's big. It's not as big as some out there. It's not as small as some out there. You can Google it online and kind of come up with an idea of what it costs to purchase a Super C compared to a gasser, an A diesel pusher, a B van, or a smaller C. They're all over the place. Travel trailers and fifth wheels, I don't know much about any of those, but I know that some of those are rather expensive as well. And with those comes the expense of the truck to tow it with. So you got to figure out what works best for you. So with that, I'll go ahead and get my computer out here. Just tell you a little bit about what we spent and what we expect to spend in 2026.
And I think too, Disney was, like I said, it was a splurge, but it's a splurge that we are willing to make.
Yeah. So we'll start off with camping. So camping is most likely going to be your biggest expense, and it absolutely was for us in 2025, and it will continue to be in 2026. We don't boondock a lot. We would like to boondock more, but the reality of it is, if you're on the East Coast, it's really hard to boondock. You don't really find the space to do it. And if you do, for us, we have the dogs with us. The reason we bought the RV is so we can go out and go on vacation and take the dogs with us. So to do that, we have to either have to have full hookups or at least have electric or run a generator. And if you boondock, a lot of times you can't run your generator, and that's a no-go for us with chow chows with 2 big heavy coats. We've got to run the air conditioner all the time. So that's one of the reasons why we don't boondock a lot if we can't run our generator. So again, 92 nights in the RV. Some of those harvest hosts, some of them, state parks, but most of them were at resorts or campgrounds. So this was our biggest expense. We spent $11,393.66 going out to RV resorts. Now, that said, almost $7,000 of that was at Disney. We spent a total of 5 weeks at Fort Wilderness over the course of the year, and it's over both holidays, right? It's Halloween and Christmas. It's the 2 most expensive times of the year down there. So if you back out that $7,000, we didn't spend a lot of money, but the reality of it is that came out of our pocket.
Yeah, and I think when I was looking at the cost for December, I think an average night for December was a little over $300.
Yeah. So take it into consideration. If you're going to go out and camp, that's about what it's going to cost you. So let me just touch on something. I saw a video a couple weeks ago. Friends of ours put a video out, and one of the things that they mentioned on their video, it's something that Dave had mentioned, was they don't sell an RV to anybody. And whenever they bring somebody in that's a potential buyer and they want to talk to them about selling them the RV, they sell them not only the RV, but the RV life, the RV experience. And with that, what they tell them is, you're not going to go in and spend, and this can go from a travel trailer, not necessarily at Dave's, but a travel trailer all the way up to the biggest diesel pusher. You should never go in expecting that you're going to plop down anywhere from $30,000 to $300,000 to $3 million, and that's going to be a one-time expense and you're going to be done. The reality of it is you're going to spend 10 to 15% of your total cost every year for maintenance, upkeep, and travel. And that is pretty close to what we came into this year, what we did in 2025. So that number is pretty spot on. So think about that as you are making your decision on how much you want to go camping and what you're going to go camping in and what you're going to purchase. So I think that's good advice. Don't just buy it and expect never to spend another dime, because what we're breaking down here is going to show you that's not the case.
But I do think you can do camping a lot cheaper, and
cheaper than what we did, but
yes.
But RVing, maybe camping, but RVing is not. It's not cheap. It just simply isn't.
The cost that we spent at Disney, that was for a premium site, and I think we talked about maybe in 2026, not staying at a premium site, but just doing, and it's premium because
Location.
You're close. Yeah, you're closer to the amenities, which I don't know that that's very important to us. I think as long as we are, have a full hookup site, decent amount of space, we might look into doing that for this year. And I think the site cost is going to be, I don't know how much lower, but it's definitely going to be lower.
So we spent, like I said, a little over $11,000 on camping. We have, again, Super C has a diesel engine. Diesel costs more than gasoline, so we get about, it depends. Most of the time we're towing our Jeep. Not always, but most of the time we're towing our Jeep. And if we're towing, we get about 8.5 to 9 miles a gallon on a highway, and it's about 6 miles if we're not on a highway, if we're going back, some back roads to get some of these campgrounds. So we spent a significant amount on fuel. We spent a total of $3,682.25 on fuel. Now, most of that was through the Open Roads discount card or fleet card. So with that fleet card, we saved $783 from using Open Roads. So that would, that's a significant savings. And at any time we didn't use the Open Roads, as this, we were on 95 and we were headed south, we stopped at Buc-ee's. Mm-hmm. A lot of times the Buc-ee's cost were pretty close to what we could get with Open Roads, but it's the convenience of going into Buc-ee's, spending more money than you need to, just a Buc-ee's experience. But I like their turkey sandwiches, so we go there. We'll get sometimes we'll get lunch, sometimes we get dinner, but it's convenient to be able to fill up there as well. And they have big enough islands and big enough fuel areas even when we're towing, that we can get in there and fill up. So again, about $3,000 in fuel. Now, I know what everybody's thinking, especially for the folks that are watching this that we work with or that we know. We both work full time. I work a lot. Heather works a lot. I make a good living. We're not rich by any stretch of the imagination, but we make a really good living. We work a lot of hours. That's how we can afford to do all this. So before anybody says, it must be nice to be rich, we're not rich by any stretch of the imagination. We hear that BS from different people, and the reality of it is we work hard. We've worked a long time. I've been in my current job for 15 years. I've been in this same business for about 35 years, 36 years. Heather's been doing it for 30 years. We're in the same business. We don't work together, but we make a good living. We make an honest living, but we work it. We work for it, and we sacrifice a lot. We also are sitting in our living room right now that we've been sitting in for 30 years.
This is the house that we bought when we got married, and although we've done some renovations here and there, it's
a very modest house. So it's just pick and choose. Where do you choose to spend your money? Where do you choose to spend your entertainment dollar? And for us, it's changed, and it's now RVing. It used to be car shows. I've got 2 cars sitting in the garage, very nice cars that never move anymore. I've sold a bunch of them simply because we don't go to car shows anymore. So,
well, and two, we've had season tickets.
That's right.
To hockey, football. And that although we still enjoy the sporting events, we don't go as much.
I mean, it sounds crazy, but for us, we're big Pittsburgh fans. We live 3.5 hours from Pittsburgh, and we would go out there and back in the same day. But you add up the fuel cost and the turnpike cost, the cost of our tickets to go to Penguin games and Steeler games. I mean, it honestly was the same amount of money as what we spent this year to go camping.
Yeah.
And we've been doing that for 25 years. I had season tickets for 28 years before we decided to let them go for numerous reasons: price, travel, performance of the team, and just the time commitment. So anyhow, we're still big Steeler fans. We're still big Penguin fans. So we'll still attend occasional games. And as far as the cars, anybody's looking for a 1960 Impala or a 1963 C10, hey, I got 2 nice ones. I'll make you a package deal if you're interested. So, because honestly, I think I put 150 miles on the 2 of them together in the last year. So if that, and that was mostly Ocean City. So getting back to it. So also in 2025, our maintenance costs. Our rig, it takes a lot to keep it on the road. And the same way, anything that's diesel, it's going to cost you money to keep it on the road. So we spent a total of $4,933.30 to keep this thing on the road, outside of the fuel costs. Now, that's going to be some toilet treatments that you need to have. It's going to be some filters and maintenance on the engine. That I try to do all that work myself. That stuff's not cheap. If you want to change the oil in my rig, it's $400, $400 to $450, and that's if you're doing it yourself. Now, of that, there is numerous one-time costs. We bought a Blue Eddy charging station. That was $1,300. That we won't ever have to do that again. We switched to lithium batteries this year. I won't have to buy those again, not for this coach. That was $1,200, a little over $1,200. I did a few other things, like we put a new shower door in because I didn't like the shower door that was in there. That's $400. We won't spend that every year.
The new mattress.
Then we put a mattress in from Brooklyn Bedding. That was $600. And again, by the way, none of this stuff's given to us. We've got a lot of friends that get a lot of sponsorships. Great for them. That's not us. Not yet, anyhow. So that Brooklyn Bedding was $600. We won't have to do that every year. So we put new sinks. We updated the bathrooms because we wanted a different look. We wanted it to be a little bit nicer. That was $1,700. So all that stuff we won't have to do every year. So I expect that $5,000 in maintenance for next year to probably drop to a third of that. and hopefully we won't have any mishaps. We had 2 mishaps this year. One, we ended up having to get a tow, which is covered under our towing and our extended warranty. Freightliner covered the cost of the repairs. And then we had another mishap with towing that you'll see in another video where our Jeep broke away and ended up hitting the back of the RV to get it to stop safely. So that's going to be covered under insurance. But that takes us down to the insurance costs. Depending on your rig, depending on what size your rig is, what its values is, it's going to depend on what you're paying for insurance. So for us, we have 2 different insurances. We have CoachNet, which is essentially a roadside assistance insurance. That runs at a little over $500 a year. And then we use Progressive for insurance, and that runs me about $1,400 a year. So we're about $1,900 in for insurance. That's going to be an expense every year, and I expect that's going to go up every year. So from there, we maintenance again was a big number. Amazon, we just had miscellaneous Amazon expenses that we bought different things here and there. That's probably going to slow down in 2026, but it's not going to go away. Cleaning products and other things that might be easier. So that was about $800 we spent at Amazon. And then we had miscellaneous expenses. We had the tow bar that we had to put in place. General RV, we spent a little bit of money. We put a new lock on, a new automatic lock through RV Lock. Golf carts at Fort Wilderness. I went out to Banff. We didn't take the RV, but it's still a travel trip, so I listed it in here. And so miscellaneous cost comes out to about, including tolls, comes out to about $2,148.80. That number we know will reduce in 2026 as well, because again, a lot of that stuff we bought that we won't be buying in 2026. We bought it because it was a new rig. For the tow vehicle, in this case, our Jeep, we had to put new tires on the Jeep. That was $1,500.
Did we have to?
Well, look, I don't drive anything that's stock and anything that's boring, so I had to lift the Jeep up, put new wheels on it, new tires on it. But that's just what I do. Heather says I got a wheel fetish because I change the wheels constantly on vehicles, and I do. Yeah, so that's not coming back next year. So we spent about $1,700 on the tow vehicle. And then the other thing that we spent money on is our subscriptions. So, we have subscriptions with Hammer, Passport America, Good Sam's, Harvest Host, RV Life, RV Overnight, Camp Spot. And I don't think there's any others. We don't need all those. We're going to drop some of those, but the reality of it is we spent, including T-Mobile, which is who we use mostly for our internet, we spent $701.23. So most of that being around T-Mobile. T-Mobile for the whole year, because I'm over 55, we get a discount. So that runs about $330 for the internet. So we spent $700 on subscriptions, including internet. So it was all said and done. Going back to somewhere in that 10% range, it was pretty much spot on, right? So we were maybe just shy of that a little bit, but that's our expenses. So if you were keeping tally, it was just shy of $30,000. We spent about $30,000. We know that in 2026 that number is going to come down quite a bit, probably by a third, because of expenses we won't have, and we are not going to put 13,000 miles on the RV in 2026. We will put 9 or 10,000. So, but that's us. That was 2025. It was a great time, and I wouldn't trade it for a minute. We made a lot of friends. We made a lot of memories. I can make more money, and if I can't, hey, so be it. We're all going to run out of time at some point, and I don't want to regret it, and I don't want to ever sit back and say the only place I ever went to was work. I really enjoy my job. I enjoy my company, but I enjoy getting away and doing things like this. And if we can make them interact, that's even better.
Yeah, you have to enjoy life too. So this is how we decide to spend it. So I think that we went a lot of places in 2025. We had a great time traveling in 2025. We met a lot of friends in 2025. But I'm looking forward to 2026 and the places that we visit and the new friends that we meet.
So, again, Happy New Year. I hope you all will consider subscribing if you're not. When we did this video last year, we had 189 subscribers. We're now closing in on 4,000. So we had tremendous growth in 2025 through the channel. So we appreciate every one of you that have tuned in. We hope you'll continue to tune in. See us out on the road, stop us, say hi to us, whatever. Leave us comments. Reach out if there's anything we can help you with, whether it's RV related or anything else. We'd love to help you out and talk to you. And you know, I'm hoping that next year when we're sitting here, instead of 4,000 subscribers, we have 8,000 subscribers, and we'll continue to grow from there. But 2026 is going to be a great year. I hope and pray that everybody's going to be safe, and we can all learn to get along and be nice to each other. Don't forget your manners. Don't forget to get out there and go to work. Work hard, play hard, and have fun.
Yeah, for sure.
So from Heather, Bugsy, Herbie, and myself, Happy New Year. We'll see you down the road.
See ya.
Also in 2025, we had a song and a video produced for our channel. So I'm going to play that now. Hopefully you enjoy it. And again, thanks for watching the video. Thanks for sticking around for the whole entire thing. And like, subscribe, and leave us some comments below. Take care.
On the open road, where dreams unfold, adventure calls, a story to be told. With every mile, our spirits soar, freedom song forevermore. Supersede child adventures on the go, through the hills and valleys, don't you know? With laughter and love we roam so free, a journey shared, just you and me. Heather by my side, Herbie and Bugsy too. Together we chase skies of endless blue. In our RV, a home on wheels. Every turn, a new world reveals. From mountain peaks to sandy shores, we seek the beauty that life adores. Every stop, a place to unwind. In each moment, treasures we find. The journey's end at Disney's gate, a magical world we celebrate. With joy and wonder we embrace the ride. In this kingdom our hearts reside. Supersede child adventures on the go, through the hills and valleys, don't you know?
Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Until next time, ciao.